OpenAI made amazing announcements at DevDay 2025. ChatGPT is no longer just a chatbot. It is a platform for apps, agents, and even full software development. In this video, we will break down 4 biggest announcements that you need to know and how they will shape your AI strategy for 2026.
So today we're going to focus on what matters most to you all, which is making it easier to build with AI. We've been listening to developers, hearing where you get stuck, what you want us to build next so that you can build more things. And we've got 4 things for you today. We're going to show you how we're making it possible to build apps inside of ChatGPT and how we can help you get a lot of distribution. We're going to show you how building agents is going to be much faster and better. You'll see how we're making it easier to write software, taking on the repetitive parts of coding so you can focus on systems and creativity.
Fourth one is about content creation that I will cover in the end.
This will enable a new generation of apps that are interactive, adaptive, and personalized that you can chat with. So to build them, today we're launching the Apps SDK, which will be available in preview starting today. With the Apps SDK, you get the full stack. You can connect your data, trigger actions, render a fully interactive UI, and more.
First one is apps interface within ChatGPT. Let us see the demo.
Let's say I don't spend enough time thinking about machine learning at work, and I want to learn more. I can ask the Coursera app in ChatGPT to help me learn more about this. I can say, Coursera, can you teach me something about machine learning? Since this is my first time using Coursera in ChatGPT, I'll need to consent to connect. The next time I use it, I'll be able to dive in immediately. You'll notice I asked ChatGPT for the Coursera app directly, but ChatGPT can also suggest apps if relevant to the conversation. Apps in ChatGPT, by default, are displayed inline and can support anything that you can render on the web, like this video shown here. Apps SDK also supports picture-in-picture or expanding to a full-screen layout. So now that I have my course up, let's play the video. Playing the video immediately pins it to the top of my screen, which is really helpful for something like Coursera because you can access your conversation while watching the video.
Next, they connect to Zillow, a real estate app, seamlessly.
And now ChatGPT is talking to Zillow to fetch the latest housing data, and we'll get an interactive map embedded in ChatGPT. And we'll explore how the full screen experience there goes. So we have our map, gorgeous loading state, and boom, we have a bunch of homes here.
Wasn't that amazing? ChatGPT is now an app platform. Developers can build and publish apps directly inside ChatGPT using the new Apps SDK. Imagine your marketing dashboard, HR assistant, or sales report tool all inside ChatGPT's interface. For managers, this means custom internal tools can be conversational, secure, and instantly accessible.
We've published a draft of the developer guidelines along with the Apps SDK so you'll know what to expect. And we'll share more in monetization from apps soon. We'd also love your feedback about what you'd want. This should be an exciting new chapter for developers and for ChatGPT users. So next, we want to talk about building agents and how we're going to make this simpler and more effective. AI has moved in the last couple of years from systems that you can ask anything to systems that you can ask to do anything for you. And we're starting to see this through agents, software that can take on tasks with context, tools, and trust. But for all the excitement around agents and all the potential, very few are actually making it into production and into major use.
He agrees that most agents don't make it to production.
It's hard to know where to start, what frameworks to use, and there's a lot of work. There's orchestration, eval loops, connecting tools, building a good UI. And each of these layers adds a lot of complexity before you know what's really going to work. So we're excited to introduce a new thing called AgentKit. AgentKit is a complete set of building blocks available in the OpenAI platform designed to help you take agents from prototype to production. It is everything you need to build, deploy, and optimize agentic workflows with way less frictions. And we'll talk about a few of the core capabilities now. So the first one is Agent Builder. This is a canvas to build agents. It's a fast visual way to design the logic steps, test the flows, and ship ideas. The second thing is ChatKit. We've heard this one loud and clear, and we're making it easy to bring great chat experiences right into your own apps. You get a simple, embeddable chat interface that you can make your own. You can bring your own brand, your own workflows, whatever makes your own product unique. And then finally, evals for agents. We're shipping new features dedicated to measuring the performance of agents. You get trace grading to help you understand agent decisions step by step. You get data sets, so you can assess individual agent nodes. And of course, agents need access to data. So with OpenAI's connector registry, you can securely connect agents to your internal tools and third-party systems. And it's available to everyone starting today. So let's do a live demo, and I will pass it off to Christina.
You can build the agent workflow visually using AgentKit. You can add chats with ChatKit and assess your agents using eval. Isn't that amazing? Let us see the demo.
So that's what we're going to build together, an agent powered by AgentKit deployed right here inside this site. And to make this interesting, I'm going to give myself 8 minutes to build and ship an agent right here in front of you. Today, I'm planning on building a workflow that uses 2 specialized agents. The first will be a sessions agent, which will return information about the schedule, and the second will be a more generic DevDay information agent. So I'm starting off with a categorizing agent to just help route and categorize the type of message coming in, whether it's asking about a specific session or something more generic. And then I've added in an if-else node to route behavior based on that classifier. Next, I'll create the session agent. Here, I'll drag and drop an agent node. I'll call this session agent. I'll give it the context about kind of grabbing information about a session. And then I can add in various tools here. Today, I already have a doc with all the information about sessions, so I'll simply drop that in. Let's call this sessions and attach it. So this agent now has all of the information needed to answer my questions. Next, I'll create the general DevDay agent. So once again, I'll drag in an agent node. Let's call this the DevDay agent. We'll once again give it some context about what it's doing, and then we'll also make it speak in the style of Froge just to make it really on brand with the day. We'll add in a file once again, so we have a file with all of the information about the day. Call this DevDay. Attach it. This agent is ready to go as well, and we'll attach that here. Now, it looks like I have a couple more minutes, so let's add in some additional security with one of the pre-built guardrails. So one of the most important things when building agents is being able to trust them, and guardrails help you have that confidence, protecting against hallucinations, adding moderation, blocking PII. In this case, we already have a couple pre-built guardrails. I'll turn one on for a PII, and then I'll just include name as well so I can easily verify its behavior. I'll attach this in to the beginning of the workflow to make sure Froge is really protected against PII, and then I'll add in an additional agent to handle cases when this information is passed in. Hit publish here. Let's call this ask Froge. Hit publish. And I now have a fully deployed published agent in production with a workflow ID that I can use to run directly.
It was an agent workflow built and deployed under 8 minutes. That is wonderful.
One of the most exciting things happening with AI is that we're entering a new era that changes how software gets written. Anyone with an idea can build apps for themselves, their families, or their communities. Codex has become very loved and grown into a much more capable collaborator. It works everywhere you code now. Your IDE, the terminal, GitHub, and in the cloud. Your ChatGPT account connects everything so you can move your work seamlessly between your tools. We've released a ton of new features for Codex, and it now runs on the new GPT-5 Codex model, a version of GPT-5 purposely trained for Codex and agentic coding. This model is better at tasks like code refactoring and code review, and it can dynamically adjust its thinking time for the complexity of the task. Developers love this new model, and the Codex usage has gone up really fast.
With improvements in Codex, your developers can develop software much faster.
Starting today, Codex is officially out of research preview and into GA. And while Thank you.
Now, Codex is moving from preview to general availability.
And while Codex already has a lot of traction with individual developers, today we're introducing a new set of features to make Codex more helpful for engineering teams. First, we have a Slack integration. This has been very much requested so that you can ask Codex to write code or answer questions directly from team conversations in Slack. Second, a new Codex SDK so that you can extend and automate Codex in your team's own workflows. And third, new admin tools and reporting, including environment controls, monitoring, analytics dashboards, and more, so that enterprises can better manage Codex. Expect to see a lot more Codex improvements coming soon.
And we thought about how do we best show you all of the cool things that Codex can now do. We had a lot of ideas. But one that we kind of kept coming back to is, what about building something that we could all experience and see together here in this room right now? So that's our challenge. If you look up here, some of you might notice a camera that's mounting above the stage. And I thought maybe we could start there. And so earlier, I asked Codex CLI to create a very simple control panel interface with a very simple interface. See, a camera feed on the left, some buttons on the right, and if we can bring my laptop on screen, you'll see what Codex came up with. Initially, it did it really well, but then I also added the Figma branding from the DevDay event so it could pull the exact colors and components to actually render it perfectly matching our design. Now, let's start by asking this question that I'm sure many of you have not asked a coding agent before. How to control a Sony FR7 camera in Node. And honestly, I did not know how to get started. I saw there was a C++ SDK, and I thought maybe like Codex, we want to use that and turn it into JavaScript. But then it had a much better idea than that. I realized that there's a Visca protocol, apparently, to control these cameras. So, as you can see, Codex can respond pretty fast for questions like this. And this all seemed promising to me. So basically, I went ahead and I typed this script over to Codex to completely scaffold an integration using the Visca protocol and wire it up to that control panel. Now, Codex is becoming harder and harder to demo, by the way, because it can really work tirelessly on your task. I've seen it work for up to 7 hours on a very big refactoring, for instance, and get it right, which is pretty outstanding. Here, if we switch over, and if we scroll back up, it updated its plan along the way, wrote a lot of code and everything, and this was the final result. As you can see on the screen, it worked for over 13 minutes on that one task, but it did everything I wanted it to do. So let's take a closer look. If I jump over to VS Code now, you can see on the right side of the screen, we also have our Codex integration in the IDE. And these are the files that the Codex CLI came up with for the camera control. So you can see it built a node server. It also figured out all of the UDP packets to send to this camera. Imagine the time it would have taken me to actually learn this protocol. That's over 30 years old, by the way. Codex even figured out that there was some very specific headers to send for this particular camera. All right, so with these UI components now wired up, the server's running, so we can take a quick look and try this. So here, if I turn on the camera, there we go, we have the camera. That's all of you, awesome. And let's try the controls. Boom, I can actually control the camera now from this interface. It's pretty cool.
Now, Codex can be an extra member on your team who can do amazing coding. That is great news for managers, isn't it?
Now I want to shift gears and talk about what's new for creators. And this has been a hotly requested one, so we hope you'll like it. We've been seeing incredible work from filmmakers, designers, game developers, educators, and more, using AI as part of their creative process. Today, we're releasing a preview of Sora 2 in the API. You now have access to the same model that powers Sora 2's stunning video outputs right in your own app. One of the biggest jumps that we've made with this model is how controllable it is. You can give it detailed instructions, and it holds onto the state while delivering results that feel stylized, accurate, and composed. For example, you can take the iPhone view and prompt Sora to expand it into a sweeping cinematic wide shot. But one of the most exciting things that we've been working on is how well this new model can pair sound with visuals. Not just speech, but rich soundscapes, ambient audio, synchronized effects that are grounded in what you're seeing.
Sora for creating videos was amazing. But now Sora with sound? Even better. Let us just see to believe it.
So here's an example in this kayak video. You can also bring pieces of the real world into Sora too. For example, you could take a picture of your dog and give your dog some new friends.
Look who's coming, buddy. Here they all are. Good pups, come on. That's it, everybody together. Happy dogs.
Next, from a sketch to video with sounds for Matter, the toy maker.
Software used to take months or years to build. You saw that it can take minutes now. To build with AI, you don't need a huge team. You need a good idea, and you can just sort of bring it to reality faster than ever before.
You just need an idea. That is a great way to conclude. Apps make ChatGPT the new workplace. AgentKit makes AI your assistant. Codex speeds up software delivery, adding another team member to your team. Sora too brings your ideas to life. The question isn't if AI will transform your business. It's how fast you will adapt. Start small, pick one workflow and explore how an AI app or agent could improve it. Your organization's AI journey begins with that one step. Hi, I am Ganapati Devappa, a premier instructor on Udemy with more than 10,000 students and a 4.5 instructor rating. My latest course, Generative AI for Managers and Leaders on Udemy, highlights the importance of early AI adoption through practical use cases, ROI, return on investment based strategies, and risk management frameworks. You can enroll using the exclusive coupon link in the video description below. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the latest in AI and technology. See you in the next video.